What you want, yeah. We just chillin' by the Wawas, lemonade with the large fries. Puff twice for the calm high, ayy, what you want, yeah. Big checks make the bank bounce. Old school candy paint down. Bad chicks, they from down south, ayy, what you want, yeah.
Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, BQ Quick Review. I'm your host, BQ, and today we're going to be doing a reaction video. This is from a channel called The Poor Man's Podcast, and it's about average women don't want average men. So, yeah, actually I had already watched the entire video. I thought it was a pretty interesting video, but I wanted to show it to you guys and give, you know, a little bit of perspective on what I think about it. Also, this was sent by one of my close friends, Forever Young, who's been on the channel. You guys have seen him. And yeah, if you guys want to send me videos to react to, go to my Instagram, send me a video you think you want me to react to, and it might be the next episode. So yeah. But yeah, there's also more of this video. I've skipped about half of it, so I'm gonna put a link down in the description so you guys can watch the video. And also, last things last, you know, I gotta say the cliche stuff. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Help your boy get to 1,000 subs, you know. Help your boy get up there, you know. I appreciate you guys sticking around watching these videos. I love doing these videos for you guys. And yeah, let's get right into it.
Check.
Why can't we go based off potential and opportunity?
You can go based off of potential and opportunity, but the problem is y'all not going off of potential and opportunity. Y'all going off of men that are already successful. That's the problem.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You have to look at the age that we're dating at this point. There are people becoming more successful younger and younger. We're not talking about these people that are becoming successful in their 50s and 60s. People are becoming millionaires in their young 20s.
That's Instagram. That's the difference in perspective. Men don't reach financial potential, the peak of their financial potential, until about 55 to 65 years old.
Yeah, that's one of the points I'm glad he touched on, because, you know, a lot of women, you know, think that, or a lot of people just in general, you know, the social media has people thinking that there are a bunch of young millionaires just walking around, it's just easy to do, and everybody's like that, and that's not the reality. The reality is that is a very small amount of the population, you know. And yes, to her point, there is a lot more younger people making money nowadays because of the accesses we have with technology and stuff and things like that and what nature. But that is still a very small amount of people. Most men do not, like he said, most men do not reach their financial potential till they're 35 and up. You know, so yeah, it's just like, it's not realistic. And I think when you go into dating and relationships, the best thing you can do is be realistic. There's nothing more unattractive than an unrealistic person. It's like, nah, just keep your ass over there, you know. But yeah, let's get right back into it.
That's not always true, though.
It's not always true, but see, now we go into the exceptions.
But you don't know who I date. What if I date the exceptions?
We go into the exceptions.
What if I date the exceptions?
But you don't, because if you was dating the exceptions, you would still be with them.
Who says I'm not with them?
Okay, maybe that's fair. Okay, what I'm basically getting at is women are looking for the wrong... Name me one good king, one good conqueror that had one woman.
LeBron.
You think LeBron got one? I'm an athlete. I'm an ex-professional athlete. Come on, let's keep it a buck. You think LeBron ain't... And I'm not even going, and you can't even count Martin Luther King because he was sleeping around.
He was.
Right, so what we talking about? Any good man that has already been established? Come on, let's just keep it a buck.
I'm just saying,
it's
like,
a clean image. Didn't we just discuss that if you text everybody in your phone right now, you said 100% success rate would sleep with you? That's not the case for average men. Do you know that 30% of men will be virgins by the age of 30? Will have never touched a woman. That means that women have the selective choice of who they mate with. So you have the responsibility of who you allow in your body. Y'all choosing them based off appearance. That's what I'm trying to get at. And y'all got a layout. All you got to do as a woman is, okay, so for men, our burden to society, our burden to humanity is to build civilizations. That's our job. Whatever you want, I'm going to provide. Men, build the microphone, build the camera, build the house. This is all men. This is what we do. We provide. You going to make the face like we don't do that? This is what we do. We provide for.
Historically, women have started things first a lot of the time, but it's okay. Go ahead. The reason why I feel like it is men, because I feel like men have too many options. I feel like men kind of.
I have to stop her there. No, that's not true. This with the dating market and how it is, or whatever. Women have the monopoly on dating and on the choices. They have the choices. You know, you just have to look. If you look into just the average girls, like if they have a dating app or Instagram, it's filled with messages. Average guy and even top tier guys, their messages aren't even looking like how an average woman's messages are. So who do you think has a monopoly? And it's just as he said in the statistics, you know, 30% of men, whatever, I think he said 30% of men or something like that, are they're going to be like virgins and stuff. So, you know, there's a lot of people that aren't having sex out there, believe it or not. And if, you know, you just can look at certain things like OnlyFans and like just the porn industry and stuff like that, where there is like, these things are like, make so much money and people get so much money off the, you know, sex industry. So, and most of the profits from those industries are from, you know, from men. Men pay for those things. So what does that say? Even with strips clubs and stuff, if men were getting sex all of the time, they would not even partake in these things, you know. They wouldn't. Like, it just wouldn't. They just wouldn't. So, you know, it's just like, I don't know. And I don't blame her for thinking that way. I think a lot of women do think that way. They're kind of in their little box or whatever, but it's not reality. It's not, you know. So let's continue.
Are at this point, like, they find something good, but they're never satisfied. So whenever they feel like something else comes to them that might be a little bit better, unfortunately, they hop on that and they take that next option.
So when I just said the statistic that 30% of men will be virgins, that didn't like do anything. That didn't prove.
Nothing.
That didn't show to you that men don't, by and large, have the majority of the options. Men get with what they can get. Women get to choose who they want when it comes to sexual
Because I feel like
opportunity.
virgins could be not shit too. So no.
So everybody in your phone that you get to choose from, those are all men that are in your plethora of people you can be involved with. Now it's up for you to decide whether those men are good candidates for you to be involved with. Now that's your responsibility as a woman. Like I said, a man's responsibility is to build civilizations and societies. A woman's responsibility is to bring forth the next generation of society builders. That's your job.
No. I feel like I have to disagree. I feel like women build families, women build households, women build homes. So I'm gonna have to disagree with you there.
How can you say that women build these things and you say that men are responsible for the failings of relationships,
Yes.
but the things that you listed that women are bringing to the table in relationships aren't things that men want in relationships?
Maybe not what you want, but I feel like that's what the typical man wants.
If I can provide for my family and my kids and I make enough money to do that by myself, why do I care about how much money you bring to the table when you want me to pay all the bills anyway? So when I ask you what do you bring to the table, men are
paying all the bills nowadays.
When I ask you
men are asking women to split checks. Women go to dinner and men are asking to go Dutch.
That's because you asked for it.
Okay, here's the thing too, and I've said this on plenty. You can go back. I've said this plenty of times. A guy should not. You have to pay on the first date. You know, you have to pay on the first date. And in terms of like men not paying the bills nowadays, use a bit of common sense. This is the problem with like a lot of women who are high educated. It's like the common sense just leaps from their freaking head. Like, the economy that was set up back in the days where men could pay for everything and pay for a family, get a home, and live a nice life. Those days were done a long time ago due to inflation and how our economy is set up. One income cannot provide for one family. So to think that, oh, men aren't doing this nowadays, not because they don't want to, it's because the economy is not set up that they can. And even, you know, I think that some women are just lazy nowadays, because the generation before, there were women that used to still work, come home, take care of the kids, and treat their husband good. Still do those things. But because they have an understanding of one income cannot provide for the whole family. It just can't. You know, with how society is nowadays, you know, for you to have a good family in a home, you need to have two incomes. And it's not, things have changed. And I think on both sides it's changed, you know. I don't think that men can pay all the bills. If they can, of course, men are going to do that. That's what they're meant to do. That's what we were raised to do. But, you know, men and women should be working together to pay the bills and stuff like that, you know, especially with the type of incomes that we have and based on an average income. And also, you know, men, it doesn't mean that women should just still keep that traditional role of you still need to just cook and clean, and a man doesn't have to do that at all. I think that we live in a time where men have to learn how to do those things because it's a survival thing. Men need to learn how to cook and clean too. It's a balance. It's a teamwork. It's a team job. That's how a lot of families survive nowadays. It's not a bunch of millionaires walking around and six-figure people walking around. That thought is not realistic. It's not happening. So, you know, I've seen a lot of people who are married, you know, and they don't both make six figures. They work together with their income, you know, and, you know, I think a lot of people need to think of it as, you know, if you make, like, let's say $50,000 and then your partner makes $50,000, you come together, that's $100,000. It's a team effort, you know. So there's certain roles those traditional roles in the economy that we have today, it cannot be done with the average income that we have today for people. And also, yeah, I'm running along. Let me keep the video going because there's more to this video.
You ask for equality.
Men are not paying bills.
If you ask for equality, we give you what you want. You ask for society, we give you what you want.
Because you're broke, and because we can provide better.
Oh, is that what it is? Because last time I checked, women don't make as much as men on average. Last time I checked, there's a lot of women that think they boss babes and boss B words walking around here that's solo and angry and sad.
See, I don't like that. I don't like that. So you're telling me just because she's a boss, she has to be solo, she has to be bitter, she has to be by herself? I have to disagree because I feel like whenever men want to be a boss, whenever men want to be this like mogul, women praise them. But whenever it comes to black men and whenever it comes to black independent women, y'all automatically consider us bitter because we're successful, and that's not fair.
What we don't have anymore is family. Right? And that's because the women, what we want from women, they're not providing to us. We don't have any stability in our household. When you look at the Martin Luther King movement, when you look at the Malcolm X movement, when you look at Black Wall Street, all of that was built by black families, not by black women being independent women, looking for the highest guy on the totem pole that they can get. Because you understand that when men have opportunity, like you said, they largely do not settle down with one woman. So why are women looking for men that are the most handsome and tallest guy that got all the money, when that's not the guy that's statistically speaking going to stick with you, and you know that because you just said it?
So
okay, this is where I gotta disagree a little bit with I think Lapeef is his name, and men do settle down with one woman. Sometimes it's just at a different time period. They might go out and have sex with another woman, but they still have that one woman at home. And also this idea that men are always gonna just sleep with another dude is false. You know, only 50, I think it's 50% or 51% of men cheat, and I think 49% or 50% of women cheat. So it's kind of like a half and half thing. So it's just like sorry about the coughing. I just got over sickness, not COVID, but yeah. So sorry if I sound like I'm dying. But these videos still got to get out to you guys either way. But yeah, yeah, that's what I gotta disagree. Eventually, men are gonna settle down with and just have one woman. Even if there are those type of men that go out and they have their fun or whatever, they still come back to that one woman. So yeah, it's not just every man's just out here gonna just sleep with a bunch of women to the end of time. You know, they always want that. I've met men who do that, and they eventually they get tired of it, and they want one woman to just settle down with. So yeah.
To go back to your point, the reason why we don't have families is because black men are not present. Let's take a plethora of examples. Let's look at Tristan Thompson. Tristan has a third baby mama, okay? And he was willingly sleeping with this woman unprotected, nutting in her, okay?
Right.
He knew what the outcome could be.
Right.
But as soon as she got pregnant, he said, well, I'm not going to be present. So why are you even having the baby? So why are you having unprotected sex with a woman when you don't even plan on being present for a possible baby that could happen?
Okay, listen to
Let's
this,
take Future.
Hit me out. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Talk
Let's
Future.
take Future.
Talk Future.
10, he has like, what, 10 children?
10 of them.
10.
God.
NBA young boy.
What? 10 of them. All of them girls. So you have one sexually irresponsible man, but you have 7 sexually irresponsible women. Or in Future's case, you said 10, 9 sexually irresponsible women. Because why would you
blaming the woman?
That's a lot of problem with you know, a lot of people, and I said it in my last episode. I remember lines of what I was talking about. It was in a It's Complicated reaction video, and I was talking about like how I think the question was, how do you talk to men who are angry at women or something like that? And a lot of people, they blame a small amount of people who do bad things on the entire gender. And in this case, you know, she's blaming the few men that do that and spread all these kids everywhere without taking responsibility for them on all men of society. And that's not even half of the men in society. Only a small amount of men are doing that and having all the kids and spreading them everywhere. And like, how many times do you hear about somebody who has a kid by two different baby daddies and stuff, you know? So it's just false. Why are you blaming one guy for all of men? And then she came back to say, oh, so it's the woman's fault. Yes, it is, because you chose to lay down with a man who has multiple kids that he's not taking care of. So yes, you have to take responsibility for your actions, you know? And just as if it was reversed with, like, let's say a man, and you know this woman has they brought up PJ Washington earlier, like they brought up PJ Washington and his situation or whatever, and yeah, like he's definitely in fault for that, because there's so many things out there. There's videos of the woman that he was with, like doing all different types of things and saying that celebrities and basketball players are freaking dumb. You can trap them easily. Like, come on, like I don't feel sorry for that guy, because it's like, dude, everything was right in front of you for you to avoid women like that, you know. And I think he keeps dating the same type of Instagram models and people like that, so you're gonna end up with the same type of problems. And you know, she was just blatantly, I didn't blame her. I didn't blame the girl, because she was just honest about who she was. You know, as he said, she was an opportunist, and she just took opportunity of PJ Washington. So yeah, it's just like, you can't blame all men off of the actions of what one man like Future does with 9 different women. I think you blame the 9 different women who picked the guy who, like, he's showing you the person he is. It's as simple as that, you know. And it just seems like it's with these conversations with certain women that just they're trying to take blame away from women. They're just being dishonest, you know. And I hate women that do that. You gotta put the blame, and you gotta take responsibility for whether it's a man or a woman. You gotta make sure people take responsibility, you know. I don't care if it's a man or a woman, but if you make the choice to do a dumb decision, you're gonna have a dumbass outcome. Alright, let's continue.
Listen to this. If you're a woman, why are you laying down with the man that you know that does not take care of his children? Uh-oh, you're going after status symbols. You're going after men that you find that are successful, that already have the clout. You know that they're not going to stick to you. You already said that. And then when you get left in the dust, you cry on social media like this, like you didn't know it was going to happen. You knew what you came for.
Y'all know how men are.
Uh-oh.
Men can go into a relationship. They might have a bad history. They might have a bad rap. But when you go into the relationship, they might be telling you sweet nothings. Okay? Next thing you know, you think you're different.
Uh-oh.
Okay? So you think you're different, and you feel like the story might play out differently for you. So how are you going to blame the woman when it's the man that has the children? This woman is coming in, no kids, no history. The man has all the history, and you're telling me you want to blame the woman?
I blame the woman because she's dealing with a man she knows number one, because she's dealing with a man that she knows is inconsistent. Number 2, because she has birth control. She has Plan Bs. She has...
And men can't. And men can't.
Hold on. No, I got you. Okay, I got you.
Men can't just be responsible.
I got you. She has birth control, Plan Bs. She has condoms. Worst case scenario, she has reproductive rights. When a man sleeps with a woman and that child, or that what it is, I ain't trying to, for the algorithm. When it goes inside of her, that's up to her. He is 100% responsible. The government will even hold him responsible. A woman can put a child up for adoption and have no connection to that child whatsoever. Men have less reproductive rights than women. Now, we can talk about condoms, but if we just keeping it a buck, these women decided to lay down with men that they knew were inconsistent, and that's their problem, and that's the problem at large. A lot of women are deciding to sleep with men that they know are inconsistent, and they don't care.
So you said that women have condoms. So why is it whenever a man tries to go in raw, you tell him no, you're like, where's the condom at? Oh, I don't have condoms. But if the woman was to pull a condom out, would you not feel like, why she have condoms?
No, I feel like, okay, she being responsible at least. Because what are we doing? If I'm not...
No, yeah, like, no. That means that, if anything, that means that she's more responsible, and she's, safe with, her body and stuff, So, I feel like... Like I said, girls like these, they're just being, they're not being genuine, and they're just trying to find a way for the women to come out squeaky clean, and that's just not realistic. Women aren't squeaky clean. When you make decisions, there are gonna be outcomes, and if you see, okay, go like this, if you was to basically jump out of a plane, and let's say you're on a plane, skydiving, and the first 9 people ahead of you, their parachutes don't work. They fall right on their goddamn face. Are you gonna jump out of that plane and try to use that parachute? No, because the 9 people before you failed. And that's pretty much what women are doing in terms of like men like Future. You're seeing that the same process happen over and over and over with this man, but yet you're still choosing him. So if you decide to jump off that plane and that goddamn parachute doesn't work, it's your motherfucking fault. Because you saw what happened to the last 9 people, but yet you still decided to jump off that goddamn plane. So you have to, like, come on, you gotta take responsibility. I think that's the main idea of this, of what I'm trying to say. Like, you gotta take responsibility, and this girl's just kind of being dishonest and just trying to find a way for the woman to be squeaky clean, and that's not the case. Same thing is for men. Men aren't squeaky clean either. You got men like Future who just be laying babies everywhere. So yeah.
Not willing to have a child, and I understand me as a man, me being a responsible man, this is what you should be looking for. If you're looking for a man that's going to question you on that, you shouldn't even be in that situation no way.
But why are you trying to go in raw in the first place?
But why are you dealing with a man that you don't know in the first place?
How do you think I don't know him? Just because, what? How?
When you lay down with a man and you ain't even talked about sex before you having sex, what are you doing having sex?
Why do you have to talk about sex before you have sex? Why can't it just be spontaneous?
Because if you can't have a conversation about something that you're uncomfortable with, why are you doing it?
Who's saying that you're uncomfortable?
If you're doing something that could dictate the entire direction of your life,
yes,
and you think that you should be as irresponsible as to not even have a conversation as to whether you should use protection before you do it as a woman.
So you're telling me you never had sex unprotected?
I'm telling you, I got a wife, so I do it how I shoot the club up, baby. But that's me. We hit on some good points when it comes to the whole dynamic. But the truth of the matter is, and I think we agree now, you can jump around the loop and jump around the holes and circles. You agree with me that men have fewer options?
No.
You don't think that men have fewer options than women?
No. We've never agreed.
You agree with me that men who have a lot of options don't commit to women, generally speaking?
Yes.
Okay. So when you see the situations with Future and all the people you brought up, they're dealing with men that have a lot of options, but they decide to be sexually irresponsible. So when you're dealing with a group of women that worship the men that are part of the problem in a culture, I mean, hood dudes,
there is
thugs,
there's black
entertainers.
That's very true.
Yeah, no, and it largely goes for thugs and entertainers. Yeah. Nobody wasn't checking for Will Smith before he was Will Smith. Nobody was checking for Jordan Peele before he was Jordan Peele. Okay. These dudes are lames. These dudes are weirdos until they get successful, right? But a guy like Future can have 8 baby mothers and still get 7 women pregnant, or 10 baby mothers, like you said, and after the first one, 9 women will still lay down with him knowing that he is not sexually responsible. That means that there are 9 sexually irresponsible women, 1 sexually irresponsible man. That is the problem. And everybody will point out the man and saying that he is a part of that problem, which he is, but that's only 1 man and 9 women. So why are we not talking about the 9 women that are also a part of that problem?
He's a repeat offender, okay? He's a repetitive offender. So therefore, I feel like he is more irresponsible than these 9 women that you are claiming to be irresponsible. My point is, to answer this question, I feel like men are the more responsible party for failed relationships in 2021 due to the fact that they're never satisfied. They have too many options. I feel like men do the absolute bare minimum, if that, at this point. So I feel like women, they continue to try and try and try, but it's like men just don't step up to the plate anymore. They just don't. They don't provide. They're not what they're cut out to be. So unfortunately, it's women who are holding these relationships together, and they can't hold them together anymore.
I think the problem is a lot of women think.
I agree with her statement a little bit, that some men just aren't the part, not the way that she thinks they are. I think just times are different a little bit, but I think men haven't really changed that much. If you're talking about in terms of providing, the economy's changed to a point where men can't provide how they did before. But men haven't really changed. It's the woman that's changed nowadays, and not in so much of a bad way. A lot of women are more educated than they were before, and they're going out to schools and stuff. But they've left behind the main thing that made communities how they are today. That made strong communities everywhere, and that's family. I think modern women have abandoned the family unit because for a chance to go to school and career. But that's cool and that's nice. But you can do both. You can have a career and still be the family person, And that doesn't mean that a man has to come in and take all your problems and pay for every single last little thing, So, because it's not realistic. This woman's just being kind of disingenuous and not realistic, But it's a few more minutes. Let's continue.
Providing is abundance nowadays.
No, No.
Providing, because for me to provide, if I'm living in the middle of America, let's not take Dallas in situation because we are in Dallas, but let's go middle of America. You can live comfortably over 50K, but a lot of women largely are unaccepting of that. A lot of women want more. Right, so you're talking about men are not satisfied with their situations, but it's obviously the women, because the women are the ones dropping out at 70%. These are the women are the ones filing for divorce.
50K is
right?
Not enough. I'm just
see, there we go. 50K is not enough, right? But it is enough. That's if you want a man that can protect and provide. If you want a man that can provide you abundance, that's when you start going into that group of men.
Why does that have to be abundance? I want a house. I want cars. Like, how is that abundance?
Because a man, if you know anything about finances, you know that a man can have a house with 50K. You know that. But see, women don't even have a concept of the money. Not the house you want.
Not the house I want.
Not the house you want. That's hypergamy. That's you wanting more. And
that's
then when
not
you
hypergamy.
But listen,
if I bring more than 50K,
hear me out though. Hear me out. Let me go finish. Let me go finish.
More than 50K.
If you have hypergamy and you want a man that makes more than that, now you getting into that group of men that are part of the 10% group. Those men have a lot of options, and we agreed that when men have a lot of options, they don't settle down. Women want these men to make 100K, thinking that it's just sweet and it's normal. Most men, the average wage for a man is 50K. So if you want a man, you got to be okay with 50K. That's where you at. Once you start to become hypergamous, you're going to start to deal with relationship issues. And like you just said, you don't think that he's going to be able to provide a house big enough for you.
That's not fair. So you're telling me just because I want a man, I have to be settled with 50K? That doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
Holy shit. Holy shit. I can't believe. She kind of just... She just killed her argument, her entire argument at the end right there. She said, that's not fair. And I want you guys, this is what I think that's the end part is what I want to share with you guys. I want you, especially, you know, people who are older audience who doesn't understand what the dating market looks like. That's what most of the dating market looks like right now. They're saying that's not fair. 50K is not enough. So the reason why this part of the video was very important, because, you know, I do have 4 older brothers, you know, and, you know, very hardworking men and stuff. And, you know, at one point or another, and some of them, even myself, you know, we made even less than 50K. You know, I think the average is about 42,000 for the average black man. I think 45 for a white man, something like that. So this woman is basically telling more than half of the population of men in America are not worthy of her. And you know the funny thing about this? I was just laughing. It's basically this woman would look at me and all 5 of us and say, you're not worthy to be with me. And on a flip, but it would be wrong. It would be wrong if I said, it's not fair. Let's say I worked hard, made $100,000, and this is the woman that's sitting here waiting for me at the end. I'd be wrong if I say, this is not fair that I have to settle with her big ass after working so hard to make the money I make. I have to settle for her big ass. And early in the video, they established that men are visual. You know, men like, you know, women that look good, who stay in shape and stuff. And she couldn't even handle the one thing that almost everybody can control, which is stay in shape. And she has the nerve to look at men that make 50,000 and be like, that's not enough. Wow, that's crazy. And not knowing that most women, I think, make about 32 or 35,000, something like that. So men on average are making more than women. And when somebody says that, like, when women go on and say like, oh, this is not enough money or whatever, it just goes to show me that their money management isn't very good. That's all it just tells me. That if you say that, oh, 50,000 isn't enough, it just shows that was basically the definition which she did of hypergamy. It's like, I have enough, but I desire more. I desire the cream of the crop. Yet her, I wouldn't even say that she qualifies for that. Why would a man that's up there want her? And even an average man that's making 50,000, like she said, why would they want her? Because I'm telling you, I would not want her. Not me. I would not want her. So yeah, I just find it very distasteful when there are women that basically shit on more than half of the population of men in society. Just as I find it very distasteful when there are men who sit there and shit on more than half of the women in society, you know. But those certain weak women can get away with saying things like that and without nothing. But you know, not all women think like that. I know there's some woman watching this video looking at this woman like she's crazy, because she is. She's just lost in reality. You know, she's not, her thoughts aren't based in reality. She thinks there's a bunch of young millionaires just walking around everywhere. There's that. She probably thinks the majority of people make 100,000 and not know that. The majority make about 42 to 45,000. But to think that she would look at men and be like, and that's not enough? The fucking gall of that. The fucking gall of that. Yo, that was crazy. That was really crazy. And I'm glad he ended the video right there, because there's nothing more that could be said. She killed her own argument, you know. And that's just one of those women just argue just to argue. Come with the deflections, not answering questions directly and trying to just gloss over them. You know, this right here is the archetype of what is in the dating market for men. And what women think is in the dating market for women is the people who are like Future. But what they don't know is that's not the majority of men. It's not, you know. But that archetype of woman, ooh, I can't tell you how many times I've met women like that. Ask the other men who are dating now. You know, if you think I'm lying, I might think I'm bugging, you know. But yeah. What did you guys think of that? Do you think she was right? Maybe you guys think she was right, you know. Maybe I'm bugging, you know. Put it down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about that. And also, if you guys want me to review a video, make sure you go to my Instagram at biquon. And yeah, it might be the next reaction video. But that's it for the video. See you guys in the next video. BQ Quick Review. You know how we do.
Pick up the pieces and patches, I gotta be, cause the edges are jagged. I do not call my things lessons with real beef, they be squeezing them ratchets. You not the same person that you on internet, I've been smelling some catfish. Don't condone violence, cause we move in silence, you know that they got it like Metal Gear Solid. Pick up the pieces and patches, I gotta be, cause the edges are jagged. I do not call my things lessons with real beef, they be squeezing them ratchets. You not the same person that you on internet, I've been smelling some catfish. Don't condone violence, cause we move in silence, you know that they got it like Metal Gear Solid.